You're the best grandpa ever.
Shelley!
Shelley!
It's okay, Grandpa. Everything will be okay.
If my grandpa was involved with dangerous people, you need to tell me because I need to call the police.
Did you see all those dishes flying around? That was totally me. Can you do anything with that tree? Were you guys close?
Quick, get to the attic.
I am peculiar because I can see the monsters. Welcome back to our vlog.
Today we're going to rip apart a small little fan base for a sorry excuse for a book and movie series. Here we go.
Alright, so, best time, now a major motion picture selling book, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs.
Today basically we're going to be reviewing Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children as a whole.
Yeah, all the way around.
Book and movie, and comparing the two. Originally we were gonna actually try to do a thoughtful comparison, but the movie was a giant piece of complete garbage.
Yeah, after reading the book and being a little bit unimpressed, I was very disappointed to find that the movie was able to unimpress me even more.
So without further ado, here we go.
Yeah.
Let's start with
reading.
this little buddy here, the book. So this book has probably the slowest start I've ever seen in a novel.
You feel like it's just a little childishly written? I don't know if that's the right way to put that.
I would agree with that.
It's simply written.
But at the same time, like, I'm not gonna completely bash the book. Like, it's not the worst book I've ever read. It has nice moments in writing. Like, there are some nice moments in there where the writing is actually kind of put together well and written well, and I like the word choice that's used. But it just takes forever to get anywhere.
Yeah, it's another one of those books that, like, I was very disappointed because so many people hyped it up and, like, talked about it constantly. Everyone was all over it, like, the movie's coming out, oh my gosh, ah! No.
For those of you that understand the plot and those of you that have read the book or have seen the movie, they take, like, I don't know, like 10 chapters, like at least like the first half of the book for this kid to decide if he wants to go to the island where the house is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like one page, I don't think I should go. The next page, maybe I should go. The next page, well, they said I shouldn't go, so maybe I shouldn't go.
Yeah, it's a little bit like some of his changes in like mind and decisions are like abrupt and out of nowhere and aren't really explained very well.
I will say this. Both of us, and I think I can speak for you on this, we both got into the book towards the end. Like, it had a very good ending. Like, I liked the action picking up, and I liked the story they started creating, how the characters interacted, and I feel like it took forever to get there, but he brought it all together in the end.
For really getting into the story toward the end, it made me feel like you stopped in the middle. Like, it never built to, like, you're waiting all this time, you think, oh, well, if it's taking this long to get to the story, it's really building, and then you get there and you're like, this is it? This is the end? Is there not more to come? Like,
it has a very abrupt ending.
Just drops you off a cliff.
Yeah, which, I mean, cliffhangers are a thing, but, like, it wasn't a, like, oh, this is clearly a cliffhanger. This is, like, did they, like, leave out a chapter in the book or something?
Am I missing a page?
We sound very, like, snotty right now. So, I will say this. I love the premise. Like, I love the idea of the story itself, and I love all the characters and, like, their powers they have, and I think it's very unique in that. And there are some good moments. I think there's a lot of good character interactions in there, and they build certain backgrounds well.
They have really good interactions in there that made it worth reading. Like, through all the terribly long, strenuous parts, it was okay, because all the characters were cool.
One other thing I did like about the book, the pictures were cool. I like what they did with the pictures. I thought they were cool. Like, I thought they were, like, purposely, like, looking fake because that's what they reference in the novel. But I think it's a nice addition, and you get a little, like, sense for what they look like, kind of.
I like the pictures. I think that they enhance the story in a really cool way. I think that the pictures added a really eerie tone to a place that was supposed to be really happy, like they didn't smile or anything, and that's never really explained in the book. I don't understand why they didn't smile for pictures when they were fun-loving little kids. And some of them were just a little bit like, I don't want to say like weird because they're peculiar children, so like duh, they're weird. But like the pictures of like Miss Peregrine, like that are just really faded out and really hard to see, like it's kind of like, why is that the picture that we get of her and not like a legitimate picture? I don't know.
Time to trash the movie! Taylor and I's brilliant idea after reading the novel was to say, hey, let's watch the movie and compare the two. Little did we know that it would literally be the worst movie either of us have ever sat through.
And we've watched Percy Jackson.
Yes.
All the movie previews were like really good, and I was really excited about it. Like it looked good to me.
No, like, I wasn't expecting anything great. Like, I figured I was probably going to be slightly disappointed because, honestly, I think the only movie adaptions I've really liked were Harry Potter. Like, I think it's really hard to adapt a book, and for people who love that book and want to see it on the screen, it's hard to please those people. But I didn't think they were going to fail as spectacularly as they did.
When you see Tim Burton's name on a film, the first thing that comes to mind is, oh my god, this is gonna be awesome.
I would disagree a little.
I love Tim Burton films. I don't think I've ever watched one that I didn't like.
I love Tim Burton films, but he gets a little weird. I will give it that. It was a good, like, matchup. Like, Peculiar Children and Tim Burton those two should have came together and made something beautiful, but they didn't. Biggest complaint for me is that, look, I understand that when you're adapting a book, you have to decide what to keep because you can't make a 10-hour film. Like, I understand that part, but I think in Peculiar Children's case, they tried to keep too much. The whole, like, first portion of the movie stays really true to the source material.
Anything that was in the book stays true to the book. That's the way to put it.
But the issue is that they jump. Like, I could be having a conversation with Taylor, and right in the middle of it, and then boom, we're in another scene, and we're like 100 miles away from somewhere else.
They picked and chose details to keep and to do away with, and some of them were just really strange to me.
Like, there's no like rhyme or reason as to why they chose what they chose.
Yeah.
The way I can perfectly describe it is that it's like they made the movie specifically only for the people who have read the book. Like, I feel like if you watch this movie without reading the book, you're gonna be confused. I feel like maybe if you haven't read the book, it might be a little bit better, but you're gonna be like, what's happening? Why did that just... What's going on?
They made it so that the Hologhast ate eyeballs instead of like eating the flesh and like meat of these children, and they also like never showed how the grandfather was killed. Like, you just see him like laying there with his face, but you don't see any of the blood. Like, the only blood you see is on the flashlight that he picks up on the way into the woods. And I thought that was kind of strange that they would add in the eyeball detail and take away all the gruesome... I mean, he's scarred afterward. You'd think that they would leave that in there. Well,
they stuck true to the beginning of most of the book. And the only character changes they really did was flipping Olive and Emma with their... They gave Emma the floating ability instead of her fire, and they gave Olive the fire.
And they kind of paired Olive and Enoch together too, as like a couple, which was different.
And they randomly added in the twins that you see as just a picture in the book, for like no reason.
They were creepy AF. I didn't know what their little thing was.
Then they turned out to be like
Medusa.
The big thing is the ending. Now, granted, we haven't read the second book, and I don't know if we're going to.
I'm not.
I was thinking the movie was about to end where the book ends, like, rather abruptly, and they're about to go, like, on the boats and go save Miss Peregrine. But then they just kind of summon this giant sunken ship and sail off, and then they're fighting a bunch of hologhasts in another time loop, and they kill the main villain, and they have weird powers. I don't understand. They add in
huge.
all this unnecessary stuff and they just throw it in your face and it's just like, this doesn't feel right.
The best way to put it, for any of you like readers who want to see the movie, is that any information that they plan on putting for like a second or third movie, they shove into the ending of this one, almost as if they realized that it just wasn't going to budget well. Like, almost as if they realized like it was gonna go to theaters and just crash or something. Like, I don't even know.
It's like they got halfway through the movie and it's like, well, I guess we better shove the rest of the books in here, and then made that the last 20 minutes. We're uninformed about the rest of the series. But as a watcher of the movie, it felt very rushed and it didn't feel right. Like, it should have been this big climax and exciting, and we were just kind of sitting there like, why? In case you couldn't tell, the beginning of this vlog was our tribute and dedication to the one and only Asa Butterfield. The main lead, the main kid, should be the star of this movie. I have never laughed more at an actor. It feels like he looked at the script, didn't like it, and purposely sabotaged the movie.
Like, he was like an enjoyer of the book and like loved the book, and then saw that the screen adaptation was gonna suck or something and decided to just trash it out of spite. Like, that's what it seems like. I've never heard someone sound so robotic while being emotional in my entire life.
I feel really mean and I feel terrible saying all these things, but like, I don't know how no one noticed how off he sounded.
There were some really good actors within the kids. Like,
yeah.
Enoch was pretty good. I love Brownon.
I thought Olive was okay.
Olive was good. She was a little bit, the character of Emma in the book never really gets portrayed in the movie at all, because Olive doesn't keep that fiery, burning attitude, and Emma doesn't really keep it either.
Yeah.
So that kind of disappointed me a little bit, but as far as her acting goes, it was good. And
yeah.
I even thought Emma, although she had some parts that were kind of like cringy, she was pretty good too.
Okay.
It was just really shocking to see that the main character was the one that was really a hot mess. I feel like, okay, your possible last conversation with your grandfather. Why?
You're the best grandpa ever.
Oh, so bad.
Book. On a star system of 1 to 10, I'd probably give the book maybe 5 out of 10 stars. For the simple fact of, I think it's going to redeem itself with a sequel, possibly. I have the second book, I'm going to read the second book, I think, and make my final decision about the actual written material after that.
Personally, I think I would give the book probably like a 4.5 out of 10. And that's only because, like, I don't mean to sound like a stuck-up snob or anything, but, like, I just don't like reading things that are just so not adequately written, if that makes sense. I mean, like, my favorite book's like Jane Eyre. Like, I like really prestigiously written things and beautifully written things. I like to look at the scenery and just like feel it and see it. And I felt like for a book that was so highly appraised, it was almost like reading to like my 12-year-old cousin kind of thing.
Movie. I'm gonna say it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give the movie a 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
It was possibly one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Like, I really don't like how much I'm complaining. I don't like people who complain like we're doing right now, but it was not a good movie. Like, I've never had such a feeling of, what did I just watch after the screen went black?
Yeah, it's like when you throw up and you wonder what you ate. If I were the creator of Rotten Tomatoes, I would have named it Rotten Tomatoes because of this movie. Because on a scale from very fresh to rotten, it was ripely rotten. Like, it was...
Ripely rotten?
It was... Whew.
In conclusion, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Book, mixed. I think some people will love it, I think some people will hate it, I think some people will be like me and see potential in the future. Movie, you want to watch it? Good luck.
Yeah, and just to tag it on there, if you do want to watch the movie and or read the book or both,
let us know what you think.
Yes, let us know what you think, and also, it's my recommendation personally that you watch the movie first, just because you don't want to be let down even further.
Yeah.
The book will pick you up.
Like, honestly, if you have only watched the movie and not read the book, we'd love to hear what you have to say, because we could just be a couple haters because we kind of liked the book and the movie just made it really worse.
Alright, okay. So I think that about wraps it up for us.
Yeah. This has been a shorter movie/book review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe and tell us what you guys thought if you read or saw something.
Yeah, we're gonna try and get a better uploading schedule. Yeah. We are a month away from the sweet relief of summer. Okay? So all you quirks out there, just hang in there.
Bye guys.
Bye. What? Don't tell me you recorded that.
Yes, I recorded that.
It has a red button. You don't have Oreo up there.
No, I said those two, as in the vanilla bean and the strawberry. Yeah. Did my commas not come out in real life either?
I don't know what's happening.
Come on, I'm gonna kiss your elbow and then you move it. Alright. Oh god, that was scary. Moving on to the movies.
Whoa.
I couldn't put it anywhere else.
God, Lena.
Last time I promised.
Say bye, Lena.
Bye.
Miss Peregrine's home for
Ew. Ew. Ew.
We're adorable. Show it.
How does it feel to sit
Sat
on
on
the
the butt remote. Butt remote.
Wait, I wanna show.
Darn.
That should be okay.
A little fun.
Okay, we're gonna do impressions.
Let's do this. We're doing this. Reenactment bonus segment.
Okay, so I just walked out of the house. It's completely trashed. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Shelly!
Quick! Get to the attic. Zoom in. Zoom in. Imagine this is an old-fashioned phone, okay? Okay? You're the best grandpa ever.